Hello viewers, welcome to JJ's Analysis Maths. Today we want to deal with change of subject. We're gonna start on a low level and then go to the high level. So change of subject is probably let's say like arranging letters. That is simply change of subject. So let's start with one example. So let's say A equals B C. So when you are asked to make C the subject, what do? You just divide through by B. So B over BC and A over B. Then you cancel out. Then C becomes the subject. So the answer C equals A over B. So someone will ask, where from the B? Where is the B coming from? Yeah, so this is my answer to you. B is coming from the same statement. So this is what we are going to do. So you see the letters here. We have A equals BC. So A being equal to BC, you see B is here, C is here. So you're going to arrange them such that C will be equal to A and B. So you have seen that A is equal to BC, right? Yes. So we can also make B the subject. So let me write on top here, making B the subject. So I can also divide through by C, and then cancel out, and then B will be equal to what? A over C. Good. So from this side we are going to conclude that with change of subject you have to consider a few signs. When I say signs, I'm going to write them down for you to understand them one after the other. Good. So let's go. This is the first one we use, and the first one is using what? Division. So this one is method of division. You see? So from this one we continue to the addition. So addition and division. So this is what the addition and division on looks like. So we have here A equals B C plus D E. So this is how these things work. So we are making from this making E the subject we are making E the subject. So what we're gonna do here is that we're gonna the method here is addition and division. So now we are going to group like terms here. So where is E found? E can be found with what? D, isn't it? Yeah. So A here, BC moves to the other side. So when BC moves to the other side, here when you see BC or any letter or without any sign in it, which means that there is a multiplication sign there. So this can be also written as B dot C, which means that B times C. Dot means multiplication in mathematics. So we group like terms, but these are not like terms, so we shift them. So that's what I mean by arrangement. So some people also can say like terms as well, because they want to make E the subject. So now this is where this includes addition. That's the reason and division. That's the reason I said addition and division. So this BC crosses the equal sign. So when BC crosses the equal sign, we're going to have A minus BC equals DE. So now what are we going to do? We're going to divide through by D, isn't it? Yeah. So E will be equal to A minus BC all over D. So this is the addition and the division type. We still continue subject with square root, addition, subtraction, and division. So you're going to solve another question on that. So I'm teaching you the sectors on change of subject. So let's still use another example. But this one you're just going to do it little by little so that you're going to get it, because this is a bit complicated and a lot of people do not understand when we do it. So we have to take time and then explain this so well so that you can get it and understand it so well. Good. So let's get to it. So A is equal to L plus Q over E square root. So here is one question here, but I would like us to start with minus BC. Good. So I would like us to start with a less cheaper question, but this will be our question for trial. So after understanding it, try this on your own. Good. So let's start with another question. A is equal to L over G, square root of L over G. How are you going to solve this? So we know in indices that square root is equal to half. So square root. So this can be written as, this thing can be referred to as L over G raised to the power half. So raising to the power half, someone will ask that what's this? Square root, square, the name square, there's 2 here, but it's not, when we write in it, we don't normally bring that. So 2 here, yeah. So and this, so this one means if it is squared means 2, something like this. This is how a squared is like, is being this is how we write a square. But if it's like, let's say 1, I don't know how to explain this, but I'll try to do that. So 1. So if you have 1 in standardization, if you have 1 raised to the power negative 1, is equal to 1 over 1. So if you have 2 raised to the power negative 1, is equal to what? 1 over 2. But far from that, let's concentrate on this, because if I say I'm explaining to details, it might confuse other people. So let's focus on this. But with this square, the inverse of a square, inverse, so a square, n squared, its inverse is what? Its inverse is n let's actually remember this. Okay, yeah, this, yes. So n squared inverse is equal to 1 over n squared. So this is what I mean. So now let's focus on the main question using the 2. So what is our 2? We have the things being given to us here, square root. We can see division here. That's the only 2 we can see, but this one contains square root, addition, division, and subtraction. So, and from here we're going to move with factorization with change of subject. So this is the indices part. Yes. So let's go. A equals using this. I'm gonna rewrite the question. So L over G does it. So now what are we going to do? We are going to square both sides, as I explained here. So if this is the inverse, you can counter cross it with the other one, and it's going to be well. So this, so A squared, and this one squared. So this cancels this. So the reason why this cancels this is because, as I explained here, this is equal to this raised to the power half. So this squared, so the 2 cancels 2. It's like multiplying 1 over 2 times 2 over 1. So this and this goes off. Good. So let's come back. So A squared equals L over G. So we're making, what are we making the subject? I didn't even state that. Good. So let's make L the subject. That's very simple to do. So here, you remember what I said the last time? Over 1, you just cross multiply, and then you are there to go. So it's just very simple. Don't let this thing confuse you. So this is just A squared times G equals 1 times L. So A squared G equals L. So this is square root with change of subject. So we are going to continue, and the continuation is not going to be easy, because we are going to move in deep and deeper. So let's go to the next one. So the next one is, we're going to deal with the same thing, but we're going to dive deeper. So let's A equals root of L over G L squared minus B Q. So I'm actually solving something which is related to this. So this is a bit different than the one we solved earlier on. Someone will ask how. Good. So there is a minus, and it's not in the square root, it's outside the square root. This is equal to the whole of this. So let me write here, make Q the subject. Good. So let's actually do this. So A equals root of L squared over G minus BQ. This is awesome. So let's continue. Good. So now what we have to do here is you have two options. Some people would like to do it by taking out the minus and then doing it the other way around. So I'm going to use two methods. So method 1, concerning this. So A will be equal to root of L squared over G minus BQ. So I'm going to square this side, and square the whole thing as well. Someone asks, why did I cover the minus? Because this whole thing is minus. The minus is affecting that side of that's because when this crosses the equal sign, there is no minus. There is no minus. So now we have A squared equals L squared over G plus B squared Q squared. So this is one method. Then others will also like to use this A is equal to L squared over G minus BQ. So others would like to push this there, since making that one the subject would be cool. So BQ plus A equals squared over G, then this squared. So you have to choose these two, but let's work this out and see which one will work out. But if you are using this method, you have to make sure that this does not cross the equal sign, which means that you have to kill the subject from the side, because Q chose to remain there. Good. So let's actually flip our book to the next course, and let's continue with what we're doing. So from what we did here. So I'm going to write the two definitions on a fresh page so that we can solve it and resolve it so quickly. So a squared equals L squared over G plus B squared Q squared. And let's write this one too. That's one. Let's write this one too. B Q squared plus A squared is equal to R squared over G. So these are the two methods here. So it's not a simultaneous equation. It's not. So these are two different methods whereby I'm actually using to solve it so that your understanding will be solid when it comes to change of subject. So this and then that over G plus all this. So let's actually continue with A squared equals L over G squared equals L squared over G plus B squared times Q squared. So let's use this and see if you're going to write the same answer, and let's also use this, and we will know the types of methods we have to use and how we are supposed to solve the two methods. So let's continue. Now that this is here, now what are we going to do? Now we can multiply through by G with method 1. So let's go with method 1, M1. So A squared times G, we are multiplying through by G, is equal to L squared plus B squared Q squared multiplied by G. The reason why L wasn't multiplied by G was because if I multiply L by G, it will cancel out. Good. So I have A squared G equals L squared plus B squared Q squared G. So we're still making Q the subject, so L have to go this way. So A squared G minus L squared is equal to B squared Q squared G. So what are we going to do again? So here we're going to divide through by B squared G. So B squared G all over B squared G. So cancel out them so that Q squared can stand alone. So Q squared is equal to A squared G minus L squared all over B squared G. So now Q squared, we were told to find Q, not what, not we were told to find Q, but not Q squared. So this is going to initiate a square root here. So we are going to multiply through by a square root. So square root. So since this is a squared, it cancels this one out. Q squared equals A squared G minus L squared all over B squared G. So since you have G on both sides, but this G is over the whole thing, so you cannot cancel out. So therefore Q is equal to A squared G minus L squared all over B squared G. So to simplify this further, the only thing you can do is that put a squared on the G and multiply them through. That's all. But apart from that, you can't simplify about that. Thank you. So let's move on to the second method. The second method, which is this, this is the second method. Use the first one and we've solved it appropriately. So we're going to use the second one and see how the signs behave. That is one controversial thing about the change of subject. So let's continue with this. So now, let me write the question again on a fresh sheet so that we can continue with the change of subject. So let me move to a fresh page. So we were having b squared g squared plus a squared equals l squared over g. So I made a mistake formally, but I'm supposed to actually correct it here. So it's not a, this one crossed the equal sign, but let me check it as well. So this is Q, not G. Q, sorry, Q. This is G. Good. So this is the plus sign is supposed to be here and A is supposed to be at back. So let me rewrite it well. It skipped me. So it's plus A squared plus, this is the right thing, equals L squared over J. Looking at this kind of question, this is the method 2. So solving method 2. So we're gonna find, this is Q. So we're gonna make Q the subject here. So now what are we going to do? So you're going to multiply through by G. So you're going to make BQ stand alone, solving the method 2 to see which one is right among the two methods. So A squared plus B equals L squared over G. So here, this what we're gonna do here. So we have to move A squared along the equal sign. So B Q squared equals, I've done the equal to twice, over G minus A squared. Good. So this is L. I don't know why I'm making so much mistakes here. So what do we do here? G is still hanging on L. What can we do here? Just multiply through to just so that we can ease the solving of our work. So B squared Q squared times G equals L squared over G times G minus A squared times G. So G cancels G here. B squared Q squared multiplied by G equals L squared minus A squared G. So now here we are going to divide through by B squared b squared g b squared g. So what we're going to do here is that q squared equals l squared minus a squared g over b squared g. So q squared is equal to l squared minus a squared g all over b squared g. We're told to find q squared, but not told to find q, but not q squared. Sorry for that. Q equals square root of l squared minus a squared g over b squared g. So now let's compare our answers and see what we got. This is the method 2, M2. And let's use the method 1 and see. So did we get the same answer? Looking at it, the same structure, but what changed? The equal sign. No, I said the equal sign, the subtraction sign. So we have the same q equals a, but this time this is taking the place of that. So when solving change of subject, take time and then solve it well, because so I'm trying to imagine what went wrong and why is it that you solved two methods and one has shifted. The one is negative and the other one is positive. So this brings all the keys. So this is what we're going to do. I think the fourth comes from here. So we were having a squared plus b squared multiplied by q squared equals this. So let's also try a different method and see. If we multiply this by that, so we will be left with l squared here. So l squared will be equal to this. And I don't think doing that would be right. So what if we move bq all squared to the other side, so it becomes negative. So it being negative will make b negative. Yes, but others too will say that since it's a squared, we should ignore the sign, which is the negative sign. I don't know about that, but let's do our research about this and drop it in the comment section below. Let's continue with factorization. With change of subject. So okay, so this also involves in, you see, I was talking about grouping of like terms and things. Yeah, I spoke about that one later, but I told you it is not this one of grouping like terms, but it's about let's say, I mean, like you shifting one item to the other so that one can reign. It's like I don't know how to actually subject is a lot of things. I'm talking about subjects, matters, a lot of things. Subject is a very broad word. Yeah. So I wouldn't know how to like subject deals with many. If you're talking about something and your friend says let's change the subject, which means that but this there are subjects that it has repetitive words in it. So this is the process whereby you are talking to a friend, but it's like the same issue pops up, and then like other issues pop in. So what are we going to do if we are told to that so if a new person comes and pops into it? This is talking about that. This is talking about what is the main subject that you guys are talking about. What would you say? What would you do? This is not the practical version, but I'm giving you an example of it. Yes. So how are you going to separate you and your friend's own from the main subject? That is what I'm trying to say. So let's go back